Welcome back, everyone, to Phil's Recap and Review. Prison Break, Season 5, or the reunion, they're back. I don't know, Prison Break is back. It's episode 1 of the new season, and I'm pretty excited. This is just going to be my immediate reactions after the episode. We'll get to a little bit of a recap here, but Prison Break's kind of a tough show to recap because it's all kind of action-heavy and character-heavy. If this is your first time checking out our podcast, what we do is episode recaps right after the episode airs, sometimes after the season airs. And I think what I'm going to do is a podcast now, maybe a podcast in the middle of the season, and then a podcast at the end of the season. If Prison Break gets really, really crazy, I might do some more content. But after the first episode, I'm pleasantly surprised to see Prison Break back on my screen. It is the show. It hasn't really changed. It has all the Prison Break tropes, the fast action that has my heart beating. I can't contain it, and I need to know what happens next. This could be an interesting experience, too, because I also never watched Prison Break week to week, and it's set up to be that kind of television crack with the way that the program's set up, similar to 24, for instance, where you need to know what happens in the next episode. So I got to binge watch this shit, too. I'm not watching this crap week to week. You're not doing it to me, Prison Break. Not again. But I'm not alone. Throughout the evening, I may or may not have some friends, because I don't know who the hell's interested in this shit. I might be the only one in the fucking world that's watched this tonight. Who knows? But I've watched every single episode of Prison Break and the movie at the end. I have to fucking watch this. And it's not like it's been so long that they're rebooting it for a crazy amount of time. It's been something like, I don't know, what has it been, like 8 years or something? Or at least in the show, it's been 8 years. But again, I'm not alone. I have with me the motherfucking chat. Gonna unpack and talk all about this episode of Prison Break and what I think about the season being back and all that sort of stuff. I didn't see the episode, but I listened to the recap. Hey, Timo, great to see you. And let's not waste any time, because Timo, seriously, this could be just a serious 20-minute review. There isn't much really crazy to say about this season of Prison Break. Was it good? Okay, that's the hardest question. Was it good? It was Prison Break. Do you think Prison Break's good? Now, I know this seems weird. I don't necessarily always have to love really deep shows. What's good about Prison Break is the fast-paced action, the quick interactions, the interesting pulp-like characters, the weird progressions of Michael Scofield's mind and how he plans things out, and just the fun of it all, really. There's kind of a caperness to it all, with all them getting together and doing things together. So I think ultimately after the first episode, it just feels like Prison Break again. And I think it's, after this first episode, I think it's better than the later seasons. It feels a little bit closer to season 2 of Prison Break. It kind of has that kind of tone to it. Was it bad? Nah. I don't think it was bad. Was it excellent? No, it was a good episode. But excuse me, I do have a couple of issues with it. And we'll get into this. It starts out kind of like a video game. We introduce to our characters really quickly. Right away, it gives you that crazy Prison Break feel. The story is progressing at like flash-like speeds, and I need to catch up to what's going on. It immediately feels addictive. If you were addicted to this shit before, you can be addicted to it again. It's one of those kind of feelings. And nothing bad so far. Some things were cheesy, but the worst part of it is if you follow the lead up to the season starting at all, and the whole fact that they're even doing the season, because you need to have Wentworth Miller back, and you need to have fucking Wentworth Miller in that part as Michael goddamn Scofield. So you know Michael Scofield's coming back. Yet again, they did a 15-minute preview to the season where they basically showed everything from this episode, all the highlights of this episode, to lead to this point, to Michael being discovered alive, and the last 2 minutes of the episode where Link actually gets in touch with Michael again at the last moments of the episode. So we knew that was going to happen. That we already got that. That was more of a transitional, like something you would make a video game for in between the season. So what we really got was a Link story and a Teabag story, really, and then mixed with a Sarah story, which came a lot off like she was talking about the Rick Shane situation a bunch of the times, and we'll get into that a little bit too. So the best element of the show right off the bat, before Michael hasn't been introduced yet, really. We only see him for a half a second. The best aspect of the show so far is Teabag. He is incredible. He makes the show extremely entertaining to watch. Robert Kepler or Kepling or Kepi, whatever the fuck his name is. Who knows what the fuck his name is? He's awesome. Let's go into the live motherfucking chat and see what some of you guys have to say. I just don't understand why we needed a return to Prison Break. I think we needed a return to Prison Break because Wentworth Miller's character and Dominic, whatever, Iceman there and the Firestarter guy, they got success on Legends of Tomorrow playing partners and kind of reintroduced a interest in them as characters, which uncovered an interest in people saying, oh, wait, they were in a series together before. People went back and watched Prison Break, which simulated interest in a Prison Break reunion because there was interest in those two actors working together again in other projects. So it's, do we work together on another project or do we just do Prison Break again? And they decided on the latter if it was a good enough story to do. My biggest problem with it is that William Finker couldn't be a part of it, or Fincher, whatever the hell, however the hell you pronounce that dude's name. I thought Mahone was probably my favorite Prison Break character by the end, but Teabag's good enough. Hello, Ulrich. Too many ads, though. Definitely too many ads. Pretty Boy says, yo, what's going on, Pretty Boy? Best show ever, Prison Break. Prison Break is like crack, okay? When Prison Break works, I think Prison Break's a show of high highs and then cheesiness. And it manages, when it's good, when it's surfing that wave of awesomeness, it creates a perfect balance between both those things. And it's because of the characters. And again, on a lot of these shows, what makes it great, when I think ultimately I like Prison Break better than 24 as a whole, having watched both shows, and I think both shows are in a similar genre. Because I think in 24, you have Jack Bauer, who's an exceptional character. Then every other character in that show, including some of the secondary leads, are interchangeable, and you never really care about anyone but Jack on that show. Whereas on Prison Break, they have a rogues gallery of people that you care about to a certain extent. Link, Sucre, C-Note, Teabag, Mahone, that whole crew. And I didn't say Sarah on purpose. But Michael's kid. You care about that rogues gallery, and they're interesting enough as characters. So I care about their adventures. Hey, Dark, what's going on? Thank you for the shout out, Dark. You were fucking awesome, man. Quixote, great to see you. What is up, everyone? It's awesome to see everyone in the live chat that happens to be jumping in and joining us. We should have got a 2 hour. I agree. There should have been an intro. It's because we're only getting 9 episodes because they didn't want to shoot their load. I feel like this episode was a lot of foreplay and a lot of stuff that we knew was going to happen. They needed to get this episode, the pieces in place, but this night of Prison Break was screaming for a 2 hour premiere, and the second half of that hour is Michael in prison and what he's been up to. Because it leads you the story where basically everyone that's going to be a part of this story, what they've been up to, and it does it in a very cool video game, learn about each individual character as they come together, like a Voltron sort of situation. And you learn about each individual person, where they've been and all of that. And then we cut it right off at Michael, and I hope episode 2 goes down that direction, and I kind of wish we got the 2 hour premiere tonight. I agree. And yeah, Mahone was amazing. And now Quixote, he was the best character in the show, and ultimately because he showed such a great progression of characters up and down through his addiction arc and his redemption arc, and starting off as an antagonist for Michael and then ultimately becoming his friend, not really his friend, as his anti-friend, his frenemy. Do it, Quixote. Yeah, only 9 episodes, pretty. They're better, but I think it's one of those things where they're going to test, and if this does well, then there'll probably be another season. But I think as of now, from what I've read, it is just a one-time sort of thing. So ultimately, as I said, it was a Link and a Teabag episode, I think, were the highlight points of the episode. And I think Link is a great character, or a decent character, but he was never one of my ultimate favorites. And when he's carrying a scene, it's good to get the typical Link stuff again, because you expect it. He's the big dummy. And he never gets hurt, gets thrown from the car. He's picking up a coffin with his hands, like literally digs Michael's grave in a perfect triangle, perfect triangle, perfect square or rectangle, whatever. I know my shapes. And block. Perfect. I mean, perfect around the edges. If you ever dig a hole, it's not easy. I mean, maybe he's probably done a job. Knowing Link, he's been he's done this job before, but still. And then he literally picks up the coffin in his hands and just like lifts it out of the grave. Then another part, someone takes over his car and he's driving, and the car gets knocked off the road, and he goes through the window and flies and lands in the water. He's super Link. He can't be hurt. He's like Bruce Willis, unbreakable. Just absolute Kyotero. Even when there's no streams, just pop on in there to the Discord group, which everyone can join in the description box below, where the discussions keep going. I'll create a room, or just even in the main room, you can discuss this show. You can discuss Prison Break, or we have different rooms for different shows and different discussions. And yeah, it's just a lot of blubbity blah. It's just more of the fun same with the live motherfucking chat. So yeah, I think the origami shot at the beginning was a little cheesy, but that's just me. I think, again, in general, this was a very fun return to Prison Break. And I'm not saying the last season was horrible, or the TV movie that ended Prison Break. I think unlike something like Heroes, for instance, Prison Break never got super horrible. It just got maybe a little repetitive to some of the same devices. And I think season 3, for my opinion, was better than season 2. If I remember, I like the seasons when they're in prison. And I also hope Bellic shows up at some point in time in all of this. Is Bellic alive, or did Bellic die? Shit, I forget. But I think Prison Break's better in the odd number seasons. I think the movie was probably the weakest part, and I think towards the end it got a little cheesy. But I think this is one of those shows that's prime for a remake, because it's just fun. There's nothing really deep about it. It literally, the way to describe it, it's like technobabble on a Star Trek thing. The least you take Prison Break seriously, the more fun it is when you just watch it for the ridiculosity that's happening on your screen and the fun of it all in a very action, visceral kind of way. That's my enjoyment of Prison Break. And again, like the relationship. So yeah, I very much enjoyed it. If people want to if anyone's popping on in at any point in time, they want to leave a voicemail about Prison Break, you can do that at 781-990-8509. We also have a call-in line if anyone is feeling talkative at 213-943-3802. And those lines are open if you want. Does Phil read while he's playing the game, or does he read YouTube chat? I read both, because it's usually, if it's a chiller evening, I'll read the main chat first. But if you do at me or something in the Discord group, I'll get a little ticker on the top to say I have one message, so I'll know that I have a private message. So sometimes during the busier streams like the Game of Thrones or the Walking Dead streams, if people want to get indefinite questions, that's the best way to get your thoughts in, if you don't want to try to get it in the fast-paced chat. There's also a voice chat room in there as well, where people can get in and get a little talkative that way as well. Okay, zippity doo dah, zippity yay. And hey, Walking David, how's it going, buddy? So the episode, let's not waste any time. Let's get into it and start talking about this point for point. And it's time for a little mini recap. Woo! Okay, it's a Monday. I can only get so excited. No, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Yes, it's Tuesday. Woo! The next 3 days I got work. Woo, yes, up at 6. Woo, here we go. We got the Walking David in the live motherfucking chat. Oh yeah, you can. You can do all sorts of stuff. David used to occasionally host a radio show in the Discord live chat. So the episode of Prison Break opens up that we get a flashback memory, or we get, basically, for anyone who hasn't seen Prison Break, they give you the Prison Break sum up of what's happened so far on Prison Break.
The evidence says you did.
I was set up.
Swear to me.
I swear to you, Michael.
Last time on Prison Break.
I find it incumbent that you see the inside of a prison cell, Mr. Schofield.
I'm looking for someone. A guy named Lincoln Burroughs.
Why you want to see Parouse so bad anyhow?
Because he's my brother. I'm getting you out of here.
It's impossible.
Not if you design a place it isn't.
You what, mixed up cracker, you know that?
Are we in business? Now, it's all about timing.
Schofield, you're just as pretty as advertised.
When do we get started?
I need your help.
You're asking me to break the law.
I'm asking you to make a mistake. Forget to lock up.
Come on!
We did it, Mike. However this plays out, I have no regrets. Well, if you're watching this, it means you're safe. I wish I could be there with you, but as you know now, I wouldn't have had much time. I made my choice. I don't regret it. We're free now. We're free.
And right away, the show doesn't fuck around because, as I said, they kind of showed you everything that was going to happen in this episode in a preview for the season. And we open up right on Michael, and we see a flashback memory of the 4 seasons. We see an owl. We get a monologue on how Michael had to leave everybody. This is our only Michael that we get in the episode.
Freedom has a price.
Freedom's just another word.
7 years ago, left behind a brother, a wife, a kid.
I became a supervillain in the Flash universe.
If you listen, they're there with you, reaching out, trying to tell you something.
We see in this period of time during the episode, we see in flashbacks and visuals, we see what happened. Michael's body, he wasn't really dead. He's switched out at birth. We see Fox River.
Do you believe the story?
Hey, Tim.
Was the man who died who you thought he was? The dead talk. If you listened.
Spoiler, Critch. Spoiler alert on Prison Break. Michael, this is all you learn in this episode other than where your characters have been. There's one little spoiler thing that will happen with one character that we're going to get to. But again, it's all just lead up. Here's the big spoiler at the end of this episode. Mike, guess what? Prison Break is back and Michael Schofield is alive. Yeah. But there is a cool thing with Teabag that we're going to get to in a second. I love the Teabag arc this season. Hello, Critch. Hello, Tim. Hello, all of our awesome friends in the live motherfucking chat right now. So Teabag is back, and we immediately get into some great Teabag in Fox River, leaving off where he was left off at the end of the movie.
$1.31.
He's being released from prison.
Laptop.
And almost immediately.
Pack of gum, 3 pieces. How about you keep that?
Whatever you bring in, you bring out.
And one last piece of
Love you, David. Feel better, my friend. And hey, Red Walrus.
Nothing
Welcome.
really wrong with the world when I'm receiving dozens of letters a week from guys like you. Nothing compared to the emails.
What is it with you killers that put the satin on women's panties anyhow?
Now, this is a weird side arc that they have to the story that's just kind of ridiculous, that they start off in the prison having us find out that Teabag has lots of girls sending them their panties, and all these admirers that send him letters in prison because of everything that happened on his story arc in the series. He's a little bit of a minor celebrity of sorts. And yeah, so I don't wonder where that's going to leave. So he looks all fucked up. He gets this letter. It sent to him in the prison cell, and he opens it up and gets this kind of weird look on his face that you ultimately know it's going to be Michael's going to be alive. And then we cut to Lincoln. Bump to the bump to the bump 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 bump. Would you send him your panties? Would I send Teabag my panties? Probably. If I would probably send him. Would I send him my panties? I was trying to think of something dirtier to say than sending him my panties. I'd send him my jock straps or something like that or whatever. Wow, how's it going, buddy? Igor. First thing I hear is Teabag. I'd send him racy pictures. You know, I wouldn't want to go to a guy like Teabag. Who am I kidding? Twisted. You don't want to know what me and Teabag send back and forth to each other. Tim would send Teabag his panties. So we cut to Lincoln, who I think some people would also send their panties to, running down, and no surprise, Lincoln's still a punk. Here there's a gun, he owes money to somebody. They say, no, Parouse, we're gonna get you someday. And you might have made it out of the neighborhood, but you're still a punk. He owes money, he's in trouble, usual stuff for Link. Not much has changed for him. He's awesome in this episode, but I love him as a B-man to Michael. I think his character on a show that I'm not even the biggest fan of right now, I like his character more on Legends, whereas on Prison Break, he's something I don't like Link. He's just a less interesting brother to me. I was always more a fan of Michael. Link's a little dumb. Link's an idiot. So let's go.
Huffing and puffing.
Oh, Lincoln's learned shit. Lincoln is a dumbass. The only thing Lincoln learned is how to use the internet. Lincoln say, Google Michael Schofield. Lincoln say, computer work good. Fucking Link. Link go to Yemen now. Maybe you shouldn't go. I don't care. Link go to Yemen now. Link sell passport. That's the equivalent of Link. I gotta find my brother. I love him though. He's a big lovable oaf. He's believable in that part. The actor plays Link's strange earnestness really expressively well, and on surface you could see some similarities between him and his character on Legends, but they're very different people, and it comes through exceptionally well. When we see more of Michael, it's going to be interesting to see, let alone, the voice gives it away alone, but Captain Cold is such a more of an outgoing character in some ways. Lincoln learned how to be Mike's bitch. I wouldn't send Link in my panties, but I would send them to Heatwave. Yeah, Heatwave is a different sort of guy. I want to have drinks with Heatwave and have a good time with Heatwave. Okay, so Teabag and Lincoln talk, and they go back and forth, and Teabag shows him the picture, and he says Michael's alive, and
I'm clear with the government, the DOC, and my God. It wouldn't appear to be the same with you. Look at you all backslid.
Whoa, that's weird.
You're supposed to be going up in the world as the age, or did you not get the memo? You didn't get off my dick.
I'm gonna crack your skull. Seems fate has deigned to join us at the hip once again, despite our mutual contempt.
I don't know. That's a good question, Pretty Boy. Unless they get in contact with some high-end military group or something like the company in that kind of organization that can just get Link out because they have a private plane of some sort. But I don't think that was the smartest move to just quickly hand that over. He's so impulsive. There could have been many other ways to try to find a way into that prison at one point. And Link this is where I say Link doesn't learn. He sees in front of him and just goes straight the fuck ahead. You're just like, Link, come on, dude. Chill. Link's got no chill. Now, Mike and Cold are pretty much the same guy. They're both, I would say that at core they are. I would say Cold, it leans a little bit more to the dark side, and Michael leans a little bit more to caring about multiple people. I know Cold sacrificed himself for his crew and all of that, but I think they are ultimately similar characters and have similar reasons why they do what they do. But I would say Michael is a little bit smarter, and Cold is a little bit more emotional at times. Michael gets pretty emotional too. It's hard, Tim. That's actually a really good point. Now that I think about it more, I see more and more similarities between both their characters. Whereas Heatwave and Link are two completely fucking different people. Michael and Cold have a lot in common in a lot of ways. It just comes through in different character traits that they have, where Michael's just more and Cold's more Waluigi a little bit. He Waluigi's it up a bit. Yeah, season 1 Cold was a pretty good guy. And still calculating and kind of reading the room. Michael just has that next level plottiness where he can see things in 3 dimensions and all that sort of shit. I would rate it. It's hard to say, King McCann. Great to see you, buddy. It's comparatively to the rest of Prison Break, the rest on its own through all the 5 seasons of 4.5 seasons of Prison Break, whatever it is, 4 in a movie, I would say a solid 7.5. It's a good introduction into this season, but nothing much intense happens. And I would say for the characters, that's all on characters, because the story is everything you would expect and leading it to the point at the end of the episode. It feels like a half an episode. It feels like half of a 2-hour episode. And so it's hard to complete the thought, but I would say if you like Prison Break, you're going to feel it's not even nostalgic. You're just going to feel comfortable watching it. You're going to enjoy the watching experience. Hey, DJ11, King McKay. Great to see all of you guys. Great folks jumping on in the live motherfucking chat tonight. So we come back in, we get some perfect Teabag dialogue. If you're a Teabag fan, it's worth watching it alone for him, because there's certain parts that people are meant to play and they're iconic enough characters to sell a series, even in the bad times. And I'm not saying this is the worst of Prison Break. If you suffered through the worst parts of season 4 and the TV movie of Prison Break, when this is a step up. It feels very similar in that, again, I keep comparing it at times to 24, where 24 Live Another Day seemed to be a little bit back on par to what 24 was earlier on in the series, rather than those later kind of stray where the fuck's 24 going at this point seasons. Or Scrubs, the final season, not the college years ones, the final season that they had in ABC after those last couple of cartoon seasons. Eli, hey, thanks for everyone, even the people that did not watch the Prison Break tonight, just popping on and saying hi for a second. We got some really awesome people in the live motherfucking chat. DJ, Eli, Timo, Tim, King fucking McKay. Great stuff. Definitely check out King McKay's channel, DJ 11's channel on YouTube. Analysis of Thrones. Lots of awesome people. Thank you so much, everyone, joining us tonight. Or joining us, meaning the multiple personalities inside my fucking head. We feel it is time. It is time to keep the recap going. It is go. Do it. So let me lay down a little music. So then, the brother's alive, and wahaha, your brother is alive. And of course, Analysis of Thrones, who's graduating in a master's program, doing some stuff, and so hasn't had a lot of time, but hopefully we'll have some more videos as we get closer to the Game of Thrones season. So season 1 was definitely the best season, one of the best seasons of television to this day. Eli, it's awesome that you mentioned that. I talk a lot about, Mark from Enchantment of Eternity did a review like this that I was maybe going to be on, but timing didn't work out on it. But I'm going to do a podcast of my own at some point of my top 10 favorite single seasons of a television show. And Prison Break season 1 is definitely in the mix of that discussion. Prison Break, when it's at the top of its game, is like crack TV. It just keeps you going. It makes you have to watch. You eat one chip, you want another chip. It's like fast food television in some ways. It has good character depth too, and you're almost surprised at some of the moments you get from people like Teabag and some Michael moments and some other characters here and there, or Sucre and DB Cooper and all that sort of shit in the first season. And it surprises you with how deep it can be at sometimes. But it's a really fast-paced action show that literally is one of the best binge watch series because of that reason in that first season, because you just want to keep going bang, 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 a bang, 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 shebang, said a bang, bang, bangity bang, 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 shebang, said a bang, bang, bangity bang, 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 bang. Yeah, wait, is this a Legends of Tomorrow crossover show? Wait, you mean Michael's still alive? Holy shit. Been really busy with it's for a show on Fox, it really surpasses the quality it should have. Yeah, I agree, and that's why it couldn't last at that pace. So I think it serves better for, we have an idea for a 9-episode story arc. I'm upset about the 9 episodes, but I think if they're quick in and they're gonna have to have such a rapid pace to do all the fucking crazy shit, they're gonna want to do in 9 episodes of Prison Break. So I think 9 episodes might be a good amount, and I think we could be in for a very fun 9 episodes. Yeah, Prison Break it's just so much fun to zip through those episodes and get into it. And it serves really well watching episodes back to back. Oh, awesome stuff. Analysis says hopefully by the end of May and towards the beginning of Game of Thrones season. My mom loved Prison Break and kept telling me to watch, which probably I've never seen it. DJ11, that's very fair. I know MASH is one of Joe's favorite shows, and I know it's a good show, but I also know my mother and my grandmother used to force me to watch it and say, this is awesome, you're gonna watch this, you're gonna love this, and I never gave it a fair shot when I was a kid, so I can never watch it now. Anytime I turn it on, I just kind of fall asleep and I go, this isn't for me. Whereas I probably, if I had watched it just on my own, I probably would have liked it. And there's shows that I've watched, like something like Happy Days, for instance. I watched it on my own. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And then I love that show. And I watched it with my family later. Whereas something like MASH, it was like, no, you're going to watch this. You're going to sit down and be forced to watch this. And it's just, and your brain kind of sours to the situation, and you never, in a lot of ways, sometimes you might not give it, or I don't give it I wouldn't give it a shot. There's a couple of other movies and different things like that fall into those categories, maybe even some kinds of music that I just sort of checked out on because of the people that tried to get me into it, being like, oh, listen to this band's awesome. And it's some person you find super fucking annoying. So you're like, I don't want to listen to you or your stupid band. It sucks. Like, that band sucks and you suck for liking it. You don't say that, you think it. Or, I mean, I say it, but if you're a human and smart person, you don't say it. Can't watch MASH. I used to scare it. The suicide is painless. It takes down many changers. And blah, 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 blah. I'm so happy to have all of you guys in the live motherfucking chat right now, talking and making me smile. I'm sorry to give you the post-traumatic theme song disorder there, Timo. Suicide is painless. It didn't bear many changes. And jibba doobie, zibba dooba dooba dooba. So your brother is alive. Oh no, Lincoln, your brother's alive. Holy crap. I almost feel a little weird recapping this thing because ultimately I already told you everything that happened. If I continued with this recap, it would basically be me playing the lines of the show. I'm not going anywhere quite yet, but when it comes down to it, I'm probably just going to kind of yada yada through the rest of this because it's one of those shows that it's not going to transfer as well. Someone telling you what happens. It's just watch it. You know what happens? Link and T-Bag go. They walk from one place to another place, and then Michael goes to, and then we flash over to Sarah's place. She's got a kid and a husband doing their thing. It's Michael's baby, and he's really smart. He's a genius too. He's a genius. He's a genius. Yes, he fucking is, you motherfuckers. He's genius. Yes, he is. Why are there so many babies that are geniuses? Yes, he's a fucking genius. And then Link shows up and goes, I think Michael might be alive. T-Bag told me. She goes, why are you talking to T-Bag? He's an idiot. And Link goes, well, I want to believe Michael's alive because we're doing this reunion series, so he kind of has to be alive. And then she goes, I don't think he's alive. We meet Sarah's husband, who's someone we met briefly in the main series. We meet Michael's kid. then Lincoln freaks out and he goes and he digs up the grave. At the same time, Teabag's contacted by a random person who grabs him and says, we want to meet you at the hospital at a weird time at night. Teabag goes to a weird hospital at night, uncovers his hand, which looks like a fucking baguette. And then Teabag gets a magical operation. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Walk like a boo, boo, boo. Zzz, zzz. I don't know why I did that music. The humans are dead. Boop, 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 boop. 0000001 00001. So he gets turned into a half a robot, gets his Borg hand, and gets a metal hand to kind of fix the whole Teabag doesn't have a hand issue. So now Teabag has a metal awesome hand, and some random big financial force pays for Teabag's money. Then randomly Sucre shows up because Link goes to C-Node, who's all religious now, because we need something to connect us to Yemen, where Michael is. So C-Node knows the language and he has contacts over in Yemen because of his church and all that stuff. And so they go over and then Sucre shows up for 2 seconds and gets punched in the face and goes, Sucre. And gets the Chris Farley from Wayne's World thing where you might be relevant later. And Sucre goes off to be relevant later. And after that, they go to Yemen. That's right. They go to Yemen. And then, Lincoln is attacked. He's driving down the road and someone uses a computer to take over his car and he gets run off the street. I'm doing all this by memory because I feel like I don't even want to read my fucking notes right now. And he gets knocked off the street, which is kind of a cool action scene, but completely fucking ridiculous. Someone hacks into the computer like the Penguin did in Batman Returns to Batman's Batmobile when he starts taking over. This guy just takes it with a computer, takes over Lincoln's car and starts just driving it like a remote control and stuff because things work like that. And throws him off the road. At the same time, Sarah's being attacked and her husband gets shot in the chest. So she doesn't go on the mission to Yemen. Sucre is gonna go, but he gets punched in the face and decides that he's more relevant later when they're gonna have to call him from Yemen to get them out of Yemen. And then they go to Yemen. They meet up with C-Node's contacts don't pan out, and they end up getting kidnapped by these guys from Karate Kid 2, from Master Sato's place that just beats them up and intimidates them. And then we get an action scene with Link. Link beat people up, and we get a Link and C-Node beating people up scene and some cool, funny one-liners between the two of them. And after that, we meet up with his contacts, which tell him about the prison that the American's in. No one knows Michael Schofield's name, but they know the picture. And then they show up at the prison eventually, and Link has to trade his passport for a path into the prison. They show up at the prison with the passport thing and the picture of Michael. They go to the counter, show the picture. They say the name, which is actually the name of a terrorist that's been working with ISIL and working against C-Node's contacts group, and that's Michael. And Link goes, Michael, talk to me. And Michael says, I'm not. Michael says, my name isn't Michael, and I fucking hate you. Get the hell out of here. And he walks away looking sad as Link screams in his best Link scream, like when he thinks his son LJ is dead. No, Michael! Just eats up scenery to death, and it's so awesome. I love this show. I'm watching this. Stephanie and I are watching it, just laughing our asses off. Like after the first 15 minutes, she turns to me and goes, "Oh my gosh, this is fucking amazing." I don't care. What the hell are we watching? And it's fucking ridiculous. Is it great? Is it high end? Are you gonna watch this and go, "This is amazing"? It can be someone's favorite show of all time. I accept that. In a lot of ways, first season is in the discussion. When I love these characters. Is it exceptionally tight around the edges? No, it's crazy action rules. It's Last Action Hero rules at times. Magic. They almost have magic powers of bending society's will and seeing magic imprints on the wall and synesthesia live in your face and shit. I mean, it's kind of we have a dude that got his arm chopped off and never got an infection and is just walking around. He's like a certain certain Stark child that's in a dirty river, you know, just like walking around with a fucking wound on his hand, and then eventually just turns into a baguette that randomly someone wants to give him a big metal hand to work on an experimental surgery, you know, just so he can have a hand and fuck with people. Crazy fucking show. And the episode ends with Michael saying, "Get the hell out of here," and Lincoln screaming. And that's basically our episode. I don't need to read any more of my notes. If I want to play some more of the audio, I might play some more of the audio and comment over it a little bit, but that's basically the show. Let me get into the live fucking chat. That is the episode. Phil, you need to narrate all the Game of Thrones episodes like that. Just the quick style Game of Thrones the quick style recap. And then this happened, and some asshole went over here and pushed his button and punched him in the dick. And then Link goes, "Roar, me angry, punch." And then this guy, Ned Stark, goes, "This fat bastard just wants me to come down to fucking King's Landing. What a piece of shit." And then I just rode my little horsey with something stuck up my bum that I knew, and my wife was yelling at me and telling me my bastard he had to carry the shit bucket and call him the piss boy, get over here. Then we wandered up to that motherfucking place, and then that fat bastard, I fucking thank you, Tebow. Just had to kind of get to it. Bum, 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 bum. Sucre was pretty good. He's just a likable character. The character seems really friendly, and the actor plays him very well and very earnestly. And I think that's one of the things about all the characters. Even Teabag, he's there's something affable about him, something likable about him as a character. So Sarah's husband was killed by who? The husband wasn't even relevant since he has to see Michael. He's not officially dead yet. He just got shot in the chest and he's in critical condition in the hospital. So the husband's not actually dead. He's just almost dead yet. Yeah, T-Big should have died of infections a long time ago. But Prison Break is ridiculous in the funny way. Ridiculous way. Game of Thrones speed recap runs. Hi, everybody. This is the recap of Game of Thrones Season 1. And Ned Stark. Fuck you, motherfucker. Damn. But you got to sing the recaps. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, Torquemada. What do you say? I just got back from the Oy Neve. The Oy Neve? What's the Oy Neve? It's what you ought to do, but you do anyway. The Inquisition. What a show. The Inquisition. Let it go. I'm on a mission to convert the Jews. Jew. Gonna get them. We're gonna help them. See the lie. We're gonna give them a number that the Lannisters can't refuse. And then Jamie got his hand cut off, and then he wanted to fuck the motherfucking Brienne, but she was fucking a bear instead. No. Sorry. Yeah, Teabag is so likable that girls send him his panties. Teabag was still Teabag when he was on The Flash and Arrow's Clock King. When he was on Heroes as the carnival guy, he was fucking Teabag. He's Teabag everywhere he goes. The only thing I think, and this is one of those things that I'm going to say this with mixed messages, because I think Robert Englund is the only person to play Freddy Krueger. But if they ever did make a remake, because I'm ignoring the remake that they made, and I don't think they ever should do, he should have been cast in that remake. He looks like Freddy Krueger. I see Freddy on him too. Him and Robert Englund, I'd like to see them work together and play cousins or some shit like that. There once was this guy named Ned Stark. He had a big stick. It got split apart by Tywin to two little prick-ass sticks. Anyways. How did this turn into Game of Thrones horrible makeup stupid song time? But yes, that needs to happen. I need to do that. Someone remind me of that. Remind me to again. Where's Johnny the Irish Wadling when you need him? If Johnny writes me something, I'll say anything. Johnny's my writer. Boom boom bum 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 bum. Oh my fucking goodness. Okay, so that's basically our episode of Prison Break. I mean, I don't really know much else to say. I mean, I could play you some clips.
I gave the words another look-see. Maybe that's the answer. By your hand, you shall know the glories of your progeny, and our world will be made right forevermore.
You get a lot of awesome teabag lines like that throughout the episode, and I could try to say them and repeat them, but if you like Prison Break, this will be sort of my culmination of it here. Just if you like Prison Break, and even if you're thinking, why does this need to happen? If you enjoy the characters, if you enjoyed the show in any fashion, and it was a show you kind of just lost track of, or you binge watched it, and it just seems like more. It feels like not enough time has been separated for it to feel completely unnecessary. It just feels like they waited a little while for a continuation. Again, I point to 24 Live Another Day, or this new 24, which I haven't actually watched, but it has more of a feel like that. Like it's just a continuation again of another season of Prison Break. And so far, after one episode, I like the tone, I like the speed, I like the characters' motivations, I like the placing that they put everybody. This episode isn't anything deep. I don't recommend this as a week-to-week watch, though. This is something that, again, I have to figure out a way to get a legit rating system of stuff when I do like straight up reviews of something. Prison Break, so far as of right now, I don't think it's a show you ever want to have to wait week to week to. I think it's not made for that because it is crack. It is one of those things that makes you feel it. The episode ended. We both looked at each other like, that was. I don't know what to do. I have to wait a week for another fucking episode. Phil, it really, really sucks. I don't want to fucking watch this show week to week. We better not recap it. But I must. But you won't. But I must. But you won't. And then we had the discussion, and then we ultimately decided that we do sort of like a big podcast at the end of the season, because I agreed with her ultimately at the end. You are right. I will not. And I'm not going to. It's not a show that you should watch week to week. It's fuck them. Fuck them. Beat the system. It's 9 weeks. Wait the fucking 9 weeks and then binge watch the show. Or wait till it comes on Netflix or something like that. I do want to see more, and I want to see it get ratings and all that stuff, but I think everything matters now. And you can wait, and you can binge watch this when you have some time. It's not something you got to watch this now. So I definitely give it a thumbs up, 7.5, like I said to King McKay earlier, but it's a waiter. It's a binger. You don't want to have to wait week to week for this crap. You don't. It's good, but don't let them do that to you. Some shows you want to. A show like Game of Thrones, for instance, Better Call Saul, or a lot of shows, even The Walking Dead, you want to kind of rip apart that episode. Take your time with it. Look into it. Go kind of overanalyze single episodes of what happens. A Prison Break thing, no, you want to see the whole story at once. You don't want to have to, what are you anticipating in fucking Prison Break? The anticipation sucks in it. It's this, it's an action thing. I want it now. Give it to me now. I don't want to have to wait for that kind of closure, that kind of bang. And I think Prison Break's one of those kind of shows that definitely watch this if you're into the show and into the characters. But I think you can definitely wait and binge watch the series when it's over with. Zoe's Movie Corner says, I didn't watch the show tonight. I was doing a job interview. Good episode. But again, as I was saying, I would recommend doing it, watching it on a binge watch, unless you're someone that has to watch it now and you're conscious of spoilers and all that sort of shit. The Steph part of the musical was gold. And yeah, OG Prison Break, it's made for a binge. I can't imagine having to wait week for week for it. Yeah, this is the worst thing. Stephanie, I'm like, oh, Stephanie, we will not do it. I do not know if I can recreate the magic of this opera part, but Stephanie, I agree. Yes, Phil, I agree. We will not watch the show week to week. Yes, Phil, I agree. Stephanie, we will not watch week to week. Until you have a big heart, a very, very, very big heart. And you have smelly farts. So yeah, it was really a great discussion that we were having in full song. It was beautiful. So anyways, it was one of those damn video job interviews. I hope that goes well. So someone missed their calling. The calling for me to shut up. I need to get some I'm harnessing my inner opera man from Adam Sandler. The effect helps my voice. Oh, now these are the opera issues. But yeah, I guess that is the end of that. Prison Break, definitely watch it if you're into the show. You won't be disappointed. It is the Prison Break you remember. It's a lot of fun, but I would recommend, at least for myself, because the operatic voices inside my head sing to me and tell me to collect these episodes like Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Yes, you do catch them all. I've got to catch them all and watch all these episodes eventually. And then at the end of the season, I'll do another recap of the entire podcast review of the entire season. Again, I may talk about it in the middle if we get some big bang or somehow I break out of it and I end up watching week to week and I go, oh, I have to talk about this. But we might even do maybe a live reaction or something like that. We will see. Is that a halo over his head? Because it's the voice of an angel. I don't forget 5:15 Eastern. Yep, me and Joe will be on tomorrow afternoon at 5:15 doing some more streaming. We'll be doing a live recap or a live review of Joe's thoughts of the Walking Dead season finale and kind of season 7 in general, and just kind of put a bow tie and grab the nutsack of this season of The Walking Dead one last time. And then on Saturday evening, thanks to the generosity of Heath Hinton, who is one of our newest patrons and made a request, we're going to make it happen right away. And he requested a live commentary review cast, one of those commentary casts where we're sitting in the living room watching it, of Spaceballs. So we're going to be doing Spaceballs this Saturday evening. Fucking Timo. I love you, Timo. This Saturday evening, we have to we'll be doing a recap of or live viewing of Spaceballs. If people want to watch that with us, it'll probably I'm not sure the exact time of that yet, but it'll be around around the 7 to 8 hour, and that will be Joe and I definitely, and maybe some other guests along the way, but definitely Joe and I got to take a sip to Timo. Boom, boom, boom. Timo, bum, bum, bum. Timo, bum, 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 bum. Oh my gosh. Oh fuck. So we got to. So these are two things that we need to write down. Someone asked me. So first of all, so anyone that watched Prison Break, that the Prison Break review is before this point. From this point on, I'm going to be on for a little while longer, and this isn't going to be Prison Break related. Cue the end of this podcast. Everyone, thank you so much for watching the Prison Break podcast. I'll be back next time at the end of the season to talk more about Prison Break. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, all that shit. And also, please give us some star ratings on iTunes and some reviews. Excuse me, it can only help get us to more and more people. Excuse me, I'm losing my friends here. I'm losing Michael Schofield. Oh, he's alive. Michael Schofield's alive. Yes. Uh-oh. Welcome, everybody. Oh, yes, that's right. It's that time of night, everybody. Oh, yeah.